Your NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big Eight tournament champion.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Hold Up.
Happy Friday. You did it. You made it to another week, another weekend on tap. Welcome into On the Block. I'm Austin. He's Strick. On the Block, as always, presented to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let Charles and his crew fix you a plate down there on 27th and Pine Lake, or you can order online at maryellens.com. Great show lined up for you here in this first segment. We'll get into the NFL divisional round. 4 great games on tap this week, I think. We'll get into that, maybe give our picks later in the show. 2:30 old friend alert. That's right. The one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Nate Brennan rejoins the program. Looking forward to talking to Nate.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's officially settled in Kansas City, is he not?
That's what it sounds like. Nate said he's there just trying to get acclimated, meeting people, getting settled in his place, and it's just a new routine. And he says it's a little bit more hectic. Obviously, the market in itself would do that. So, yeah, he's looking forward. He's excited about the opportunity, though.
As he should be.
Yeah.
It's good people. At the end of the hour, we'll play the game, The Shootout, with Strick, NFL divisional history. Some leaders for teams and individuals. So if you think you know a lot about the NFL divisional round, you'll call in at the bottom of the hour. 3 o'clock hour, a lot to get into as well. We'll start with Strick's picks. So we'll walk through the wild card, or the divisional round games, officially get the picks from Strick at the top of the 3 o'clock hour. Big hoops weekend again. Great day on Wednesday night. The men and women both winning. They both play again tomorrow as well. The women have Maryland, and the men have Penn State. So we'll get into that. And then what's in store over the end of conference play, especially on the men's side with a dozen games to go before we cross it over.
A lot of games. I mean, this is like 6. They still got, I think, 6 just in the beginning of the year the end of the year and the beginning of the year, 6 games on the road. And I think by the time it's all said and done, it'd be like 9. So this is a rough stretch for them. And if you can come out of this stretch fairly unscathed, I mean, you could put yourself in a pretty good place for contention. I mean, right now they found themselves, they jumped up the board a little bit. So they found themselves right around that, 9th, 8th slot?
They're, I think, still in 11th.
It's 11th?
Or maybe they're in 10th.
I think they've jumped up.
Did they get to 10th? That'd be huge if they did. If they're able to stay out of 11th or lower.
Yeah, I think they did make a jump, but I'd have to just confirm, because that win helped, make this jump, that they were able to find themselves not in that same bottom tier right now, but I could be wrong.
Right now, they sit at 12th.
Is it 12? So maybe just that one, the night of the win, and then now other teams have also have had wins and losses, so forth. Yeah, okay. I know for 1 second, one brief minute, they made a nice little jump up the board. But that's the thing about it, is they've got to in order to move out of the slot, you got to beat teams that are up the tier.
Well, let's just look at that schedule and the standings right now. So Nebraska's in 12th right now at 3-5. The 2 teams below them are teams Nebraska has beaten. Ohio State is 2-5 in conference. Minnesota is 1-6. A half a game ahead of Nebraska is Maryland, who's still on the schedule twice.
Yep.
They're at 3-4. Penn State still on the schedule twice at 3-4. And Indiana, who you already lost to at 3
on the road. So you're going to get them at home, which is good, because you lost to them on the road.
I think you only get Indiana. Yeah, you only get Indiana once.
So then that doesn't matter. So you had your shot at them. So that's not going to happen again.
Right. And then something we haven't talked a whole lot about is Northwestern on a COVID pause. Strick, they had to postpone their game against Iowa. That one will get made up, and Wisconsin. So Northwestern is really 2 games short right now. And that's an improved Northwestern team that, again, Nebraska will see in the near future. So if you look at those teams directly ahead of Nebraska, you have plenty of opportunities throughout January and February to move up and make sure that you get above 10th place in the conference.
Well, again, that's why home court is so important of making sure that you take care of them. That's why there was a little bit of disappointment in the way that they played against, Illinois, at home, and you get beat that bad. I mean, you just kind of laid an egg. But, it all comes down to the same things that we've always continued to talk about. If you look at those games, you look at their scores, you look at they've got to figure out a way to get up into them 70s, because you're just not going to win your full share of games if you don't. That's just how it's working, and that's how it's looking right now in the Big Ten.
Plain and simple. 6 games left at home, 6 on the road for the 12 remaining conference games.
Well, just look at overall. You see how it's playing out, Austin, in the Big Ten. Look at overall. Look at the teams, and most of them are having success where outside of Minnesota.
They're winning at home, taking care of business, defending home floor.
And the ones that are having the biggest success are winning the games on the road, which is your Purdue, so forth and so on. So you got to figure out a way to get on the road as much as they're on the road right now and snap some of those games.
Right. Is in January, like you mentioned, 9 games in the month, 6 of them are on the road. You still have to go to Penn State, to Maryland, and to Illinois before the month is out. I would say Penn State is probably the most gettable road venue. The road teams won like 9 of the last 10 in that series. So Nebraska's done it before. Maryland,
and they're 3-0 their last games, and they broke a streak going out there last year.
They did. Maryland, that's just a weird place to play. Nebraska, I don't think has had much success there. And then the State Farm Center in Champaign, always tough. Illinois is talented. So if you get through those 3 road games, Strick, you only have 3 road games left. You go to Michigan, you go to Rutgers, and then the last Sunday of the year, you're at Iowa. I don't know how many of those are realistic steals. How many would you think Nebraska is able to get on the road?
Rutgers is going to be one of the toughest to play, and then you're going to depend on what who you have on your roster going up against Michigan. They've always struggled because Hunter Dickinson has just killed them. Every time they played him, I just don't know what their matchup is going to be like. I think Derek Walker, if he can get him in foul trouble, that would help them tremendously. They use Hunter Dickinson to spread to open up their court so much for them, and his ability to run, his ability to stretch, his ability to finish, his ability to rebound. He's a versatile type of player. They run great pick and roll with him. They use him well. And again, Michigan usually plays well at home. I mean, they've took a couple of losses, but they don't do as well on the road. But we'll see. We'll see how it comes out.
And like you said, those road games are the ones that the elite upper tier of the Big Ten are winning. That's not what the expectation is for Nebraska right now. So let's turn our attention to home floor.
Yeah, I mean, and with that too, like, you've got to really think about, this is why it's scary, because it's so up in the air. Like Northwestern right now, it used to be one that, if you played well, you can clip them. They're tough this year. I mean, they're in the middle of the pack. 8-3 at home, 3-1 on the road. So they're road warriors too. They're willing to get on the road and say, hey, let's battle it out. That's why it's so dangerous to kind of feel that you think you can clip somebody. You got to get the ones that you really think that you can get. Maryland is tough at home also. All these teams are tough at home. That's why it's not easy to go on the road. You got to play some of your best ball when you're on the road.
Northwestern coming up on Tuesday. 2 really good guards in Boo Buie and Chase Audige that have given Nebraska fits before. But again, you have to find a way to get that one done at home. To just hold serve.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Penn State, we'll see how tomorrow goes, obviously. They're not that much better than Nebraska. You got to find a way to gut that one out at home. Wisconsin, I think as a program, you trust them more. But any given night, I think Nebraska, again, not the most athletic team. Nebraska's probably more athletic than Wisconsin, though, which is kind of crazy to think about. When you look at guys like Jamarcus Lawrence, you look at Denham Dawson, what he can do. Chucky Hepburn is a solid player. I don't think he's a great athlete, though, in terms of, vertical bounce. So I think that's Nebraska's advantage.
Great defender.
Great.
Great defender.
Yep. And then you get Maryland, Minnesota, Michigan State at home. You got to win 2 out of those 3 at the very least, don't you?
Period. If you want to make a surge and make a run, and I found it. I actually found what I was looking for. It was, and I said this before, it was Joe Lunardi.
Okay.
Joe Lunardi, who does bracketology, he is the one that believes that 10 teams will come to the Big Ten.
That's nuts.
Even if it's 9, I'm like, I would be looking at that as an opportunity. Just get out of this. Put yourself in a position to basically be in the talks or the conversation. Because if you can put yourself in that 8-9 position with your quad 1, quad 2s, all the games that you play, you win your share of them.
Mm-hmm. You have to.
I mean, no matter what, they can't deny you. It's like you've played one of the toughest outside of Kansas. Kansas is number 1. But outside of them, you're number 2 with the toughest schedule right now, strength of schedule. And I think you've got to figure out a way to put yourself in contention and put yourself in the mix of the conversation, since it's just people are talking about you getting that many teams in the tournament. You might as well just go shoot for the stars.
Right. Why not you? It's always been someone else's turn. Why can't it be Nebraska's turn? So you look at 12 games remaining. Nebraska's 10-9 overall, 3-5 in conference. How many wins gets them into that discussion?
I think they got to be around 500. Maybe one game, no more than 2. There's so much parity in the Big Ten. That's why I'm saying I don't think they're outside of Purdue. I don't envision anyone just running away with the conference. Michigan State has the possibility to fight, keep up. They've battled. Purdue had shown. I'm just still impressed with Rutgers. I'm impressed because, to me, Nebraska has a similar type of team.
Right. And
they just are doing a little better job at, taking advantage of their situation, but their schedule also not as hard. Wasn't as hard.
No.
So that's something to look at. I still think Wisconsin is beatable. There's nothing about Wisconsin that would scare me. So I look up and down that. How Iowa finds itself in the 5th slot, they've gotten hot. They've won 4 of their last 4 games. They're on a 4-game win streak. I thought they were about to fall off the wagon. They look like they just weren't playing great basketball. Now all of a sudden they're emerging. So it's just it seems like there's still roller coaster rides of changes still left out there, Austin.
Right, and even Nebraska's record at 3-5. Iowa and Wisconsin are 4-3. That's only a game and a half back.
Yeah.
And you see both of those teams. You get Wisconsin at home and you see Iowa on the road again. There are opportunities out there to make some hay. I wouldn't say it's the likely outcome that Nebraska gets to 8th or 9th, but it's on the table. And at this point in the season, the fact that this team can control its own destiny, if it takes care of business by winning games and figuring out that consistency portion, Strick, it's in that conversation. It's earned every bit of it.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And they've got to continue to handle business, definitely at home, especially down the stretch. So you're going to get your fair share of home games coming to the close, which always is something of positivity there. But if you can go on this road and become road warriors just for a period of time, for the next 3 weeks, if you can just be road warriors, you can put yourself in a sweet spot. No doubt.
For sure. On the Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685, Christian in Lincoln asks, why is it the Big Ten gets several teams in the tournament every year, but you don't see many of them making runs in March?
Great point. I had Purdue going deep last year, and they broke my heart again. And it's like, I don't understand it. And I can't say that they beat up on each other. It's just, I think it's style of play. I think sometimes you get into the tournament and it's a free-for-all. It's a style of play. It's where you're seated, who your matchups are. Sometimes those matchups you end up getting against. You end up finding yourself against a super athletic team like Mississippi State or San Diego State, and then they end up just going nuts. And you're absolutely right. It seems to always happen, and I still can't understand it. It's the same thing in football. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I mean, they for the last few years, Nebraska, the Big Ten has gotten 2 and fall short.
Yeah.
Fall short. And I don't know. I don't know what can change it. I think it's just style of play. And sometimes the style just doesn't match up with certain types of teams at the next level. I think Purdue, has something that's unique in their style of play. But outside of them, I can't say that Wisconsin would be somebody. I think Rutgers is dangerous just because they get after you on a defensive level. But up and down the Big Ten, I don't
You don't see anyone that dangerous.
I don't see anybody. That's just being honest. And I hate to say that, but that's just being honest. I don't see it.
Right. So as you look at the Big Ten, the teams that you were going against in your days, was it the same back in that conference?
Well, we're a Big Eight.
Yeah.
So
were teams making runs out of that conference? Or?
So, yeah, I mean, when I was playing, Oklahoma State went to the Final Four. We had Oklahoma, Iowa State would do okay. We didn't win. We would get there, and I think it was matchup. I'll go back and say Danny Nee was a great coach, and I think there come periods where there were times in the game where Coach Nee would overtake, and we would get outside of Gary Bargan or Jeff Smith. Really was the X and O guys, and Danny would take over, and we would end up coming up short. I would also say that there would be games that we just could not freaking hit the barrel of a barn. We just couldn't freaking hit a shot, and it would be the teams weren't better than us. It just and I remember after winning the Big 8 tournament, we ended up having to play pretty quickly after it was a quick turnaround. I think we had to be on the road that Thursday, and we didn't have much time. And that turnaround, I think we were just emotionally spent. I mean, we had to make this crazy run, and we just got spent. So yeah, Oklahoma State, Missouri was at one point made long and deep runs. And the ones that we used to beat up on was probably Colorado and sometimes Kansas State and those types of teams. But Okie State, Oklahoma was pretty solid. Missouri, us, Iowa State, and then Kansas. Kansas was always going deep.
True.
But then they ended up losing first rounders. They ended up being but that was Big 12. They didn't do that in Big 8, but no. Big 12.
One last question then before we get Nate Brennan on the horn. Texter says Nebraska probably needs 6 wins out of the remaining 12 to lock in postseason play. Could also be 5 and a win in the Big Ten tournament. I think that's the most likely math?
I think 6 for NIT.
If you win 6, you're above 500, so you can go to the NIT.
6? Oh, yeah. I think 6 NIT. I think if they can win 7 or 8, you might have a conversation. You know what I mean? Just because of what their schedule was. I think here's why I think they won't.
Okay.
And I think the committee will say no. They don't look sexy.
No.
You know what I'm saying? They don't look sexy. Like they're a defensive prowess team. Don't look sexy. Very just
down a big
bland
name.
Yeah, don't have nobody really that blows you away that way. That's where I think the committee would pass.
The last part of that question is, what do you consider a successful season?
Getting out of that top 10.
Okay.
I mean, out of that playing, I think that's I with the schedule that they have, I still think they've had good success with injuries, with losses, huge losses to certain parts and pieces of your team that you really need. So you can still say it's success. I think for you to really feel good and confident about moving into another year and possibly recruiting, I would have to say you get out of that first playing game.
Right. Anything more than that is just gravy at this point, because it wasn't an NIT or bust season.
No, I didn't see that at all.
Plain and simple. There you have it from the man, the myth, the legend himself, Eric Strickland. Again, on the block, brought to you by Mary Ellen's. Coming up after this, we'll talk to Nate Brennan. He's down in Kansas City. We'll hear from Nate, hear how things are going, talk some Huskers, some NFL, whatever's on Nate's mind. We'll hear from him after this.
A new year means new goals and upgrading. But that doesn't apply to health and fitness. Mullen Motors can get you into a new vehicle right now and get your 2023 started off the right way. They cleared off their 2022 inventory and have tons of new vehicles to choose from to make sure you get to where you need to be this year. Out with the old and in with the new. Stop by Mullen Motors today, just north of 48th and Lake.
Times quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Let me share something to make life just a little easier. It's just one word, Bryant. If we need service on our furnace or AC, we call Bryant. Same thing goes for an electrical issue. If I have a problem with my faucet, toilet, a drain, or a heater, I don't need to know how to fix it. I just need to know who to call. And at our house, it's Bryant.
Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. Just one call. 467-1111. Remember, we do whatever it takes.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than softball and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Meeting your goal of having a healthy diet has never been easier than with the Venue at Home Healthy Living subscription. Chef-inspired meals that are health conscious and delivered right to your door every week. All you have to do is heat and eat. We offer delicious entrees, gluten-free pastas, fresh rice bowls, soups, salads, and more. Build your own package as a subscription to receive meals every week, designed to help you meet your dietary goals. Order your custom healthy meal package today at Venue at Home.
This is Megan Nebraska golf team. If you've put your clubs away for the winter, it's time to get them back out. There's no need to stop thanks to Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle is home to Lincoln's best indoor golf simulators. It's perfect for offer with everything from casual games for the kids to hyper-realistic simulations of some of the best courses in the world. And the best part, no matter what the weather's doing outside, it's always golf weather inside. See for yourself. Double Eagle Sports Complex on West O Street.
Hi, I'm Charlie Stone, and I'm back with Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, you said to me earlier you have a lot going on at the dealership. Can you tell our listeners about it?
Sure can, Charlie. As I've said before, if you don't see a vehicle on our lot that you're looking for, it's probably on its way soon.
So, how many new Hondas do you have in stock or on the way?
We have a total of over 325, Charlie, with a great selection of Pilots and Ridgelines in stock right now.
Well, we have been talking about the Honda of Lincoln way of buying cars for several months. How is that going?
People love it. We're buying all makes and models, whether they purchase the car from us or not. I mean, really, it's a no hassle, and we will pay them cash on the same day.
Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Get your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you.
Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Tractor Supply has a new progressive pay model where team members receive 5 wage increases in the first 2 years of employment with the ability to earn up to $24 per hour. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day workweek schedule with additional overtime days with both day and night shift schedules available. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
The Lincoln Stars look to add to their dominance on home ice as they face the Sioux City Musketeers on Friday, January 20th. It's the first time that the defending Clark Cup champions are in Lincoln this season, and you won't want to miss the action. The puck drops at 7:05 p.m., and you can purchase your tickets now online at lincolnstars.com or by calling 402-474-7827.
Joint pain can affect your quality of life and even be debilitating. Perhaps you've had trouble walking or even performing activities as simple as sitting down and stairs. There is good news thanks to QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics can assist with all types of pain in the knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints, whether due to an underlying chronic condition or a recent or even former accident or sports injury. Call QC Kinetics in Lincoln today at 402-205-4270 or go to qckinetics.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Patchy areas of fog this morning. By this afternoon, a mix of sun and clouds with an afternoon high of around 33. West-northwest winds at around 10. We can see more areas of fog developing late tonight with a low down to around 22. 33 tomorrow with a chance of light snow moving in by later in the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back on the block. Strick, Austin Norman here. 93.7 The Ticket at ticketfm.com. Sauter Heyman text line is always open to you. 402-464-5685. You can always chime in, tap in, call in on the Honda Lincoln hotline if you have something that you would like to discuss or share as well. We're always appreciative continuously, as we state regularly. We are sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. And we also have on the Honda of Lincoln hotline right now joining us, so you can't call in because we have former On the Block host and friend, continuously now a blockhead himself, Nate. Nate Brennan, what's going on, Nate Doggy Dog?
What's going on, guys? I don't know what the weather's looking like over there in Lincoln, Nebraska, but here in the beautiful city of Kansas City, we got sunny skies and about 40 degrees, so enjoying it so far. It's been a hectic couple weeks, so I want to apologize and say I'm sorry I couldn't join you guys earlier, but starting to get moved in. Started this past week. I'll be on air starting tomorrow, so slowly but surely it's coming along, and I'm getting settled again in the beautiful city of Kansas City.
Oh, well, good. So now that you're not in here with me, sitting across with me, the Hokie Homer. I just want to know, Nate Doggy Dog, you got to talk to your boy, man. You got to have a call. You've got to basically reach out. There needs to be a conversation with what's going on down there in the ACC, Virginia Tech. What's really going on? 1-6. What do they need to do to get off the schneid?
Well, I'm glad that you asked me that, Strick, because I know, unfortunately, for everyone in Lincoln, Nebraska, they haven't been able to get their Virginia Tech Hokie coverage, and that's probably a good thing. It's an absolute dumpster fire. Hunter Couture, who was the ACC tournament player, the MVP, the ACC tournament MVP last year when Virginia Tech won the ACC for the first time, by the way. He fractured his elbow. The third highest recruit in Virginia Tech basketball history, Rodney Rice, just had another setback. He's yet to play this season. Lots of young guys on that team. Yeah, it's not looking good for my Hokies, Strick. So maybe full on for Nebraska, because what's interesting enough, if they have a good stretch here against, I believe it's Northwestern and Penn State, I wouldn't be surprised to see them on the bubble watch. So I think my focus might be for the Cornhuskers. Fortunately for everyone, they don't have to hear any Virginia Tech coverage, because it would be pretty rough to listen to about now.
Well, that's crazy that you say that. That's one of the things that I wanted to kind of talk about. We're going to discuss and shift to, because right now they're at 3-5 in conference. My thought in Austin's as well is, if they just hang on, hold on, grab hold of where they are right now, and continue to just kind of stay right there in this area to get down the stretch to where you're going to have some of these home games, some of these games where you can, get healthy and really just make a run towards the tail end. But you've got to stay right now. You can't have any slippage or falling and droppage too much in this stretch right now. And so do you feel that it's an importance for them to kind of go at the 500 range, or to really steal a couple, like, head down in Maryland and maybe get one and things like that? Because I personally, Nate, think Wisconsin's gettable. I still think there's some teams out there that are gettable in the Big Ten right now on any given night. I think just a tough team, especially away from the at home for them, is Rutgers. I think they're just they're tough, and obviously Purdue at home. You got to give kudos to what Izzo's doing up there in Michigan State, but outside of that, there's no one that scares me in the Big Ten.
Well, it's so fascinating, Strick, because we talked before the season, and I know you talked about it's probably a down year for the Big Ten. And while it's kind of shaping up to be like that, I think it's kind of Purdue. Maybe you can throw Rutgers into that group and anyone else. I'm pretty sure at this point in time, they're still the only two ranked Big Ten schools. Indiana blows out Illinois last night on the road. Northwestern somehow sits at 12-5 on the season. They're on the bubble watch. Maryland's gettable. Like I said, Illinois, Penn State, who you're going to play tomorrow, another gettable game. I mean, you just look at this Nebraska team. Like you said, Strick, if you can go 500 in the Big Ten, which has a bunch of quad one teams as it currently stands, a bunch of teams towards the top, but that gettable factor, right? I mean, outside of Purdue, who you push to the wire, and we don't have to get into because I think Nebraska got hosed. Outside of Purdue and Rutgers, there's no team that should intimidate you in the Big Ten. I think, like you said, Wisconsin might also be in that ranked group. But you're going to have a lot of quad one opportunities. And I still think it stays the same, Strick. You go 500, you look at possibly an NIT berth, maybe be thrown into a graphic or two for the NCAA tournament. You're rocking and rolling. It's definitely impressive to see what the Huskers have done. And how about that win against Ohio State, Strick? I know you were yelling at your television because that was awesome to see them pull that one out towards the end.
Well, I'll quickly, because Austin's going to jump in here, but yes, it's not even the fact that they won, but it's how they won. This game was tight. It was nip tuck the whole way through. They were battling. It was fighting. It was like 13 lead changes. It was close throughout, and they still hung on without Derek Walker being available with constant minutes throughout the game. Always played solid when he had it, but yeah, just wasn't constant. And to win that game, it was a great feat for them. But I just wanted to make that comment. But hey, the new guy on the scene, Austin Orman, he's still fresh, but he's got some questions.
So yeah, on the college basketball train, Nate, you're down there in KC. Kansas, we know what they are. What's the reaction been like to Kansas State popping up in year one of Jerome Tang, and also Missouri making some appearances in the top 25 with their offense? How's the Kansas City area handled three good basketball teams at once?
Well, it's so interesting because we have our staff meetings for, like I've been, as everyone knows by now, KCTV Channel 5 here in Kansas City. This is the first time that Kansas and Kansas State have both been ranked in the top 15 for quite some time. It was our leading coverage at 4, 5, 6. We had a live at the 10 o'clock after that game and finalized. It's just so interesting because I asked before the season, I would say Kansas is far and away the better team, but we've seen Kansas State with a first-year head coach, one of the best teams in the country. And it'll be interesting, too, to see when these rankings come out because Kansas State, you got to look at, we'd always talk about these quad one wins. Kansas State has some of the most quad one wins in the country. So when you look at these two teams and how they stack up, it's incredibly impressive what Kansas State's been doing. And after that win, I know that Kansas State was the home team. I'm thinking Kansas State is the best team in the Big 12 right now, which is crazy to say. And we're going to look at right now, too. If it comes down to it, I think the best thing for college basketball right now, give me a Final Four with both Kansas and Kansas State. We're going to have a lot of coverage here in KC.
That's good stuff, man. Listen, we do hope to have more of you to hang out with us on the block pretty regularly. Just one other thing. Nebraska was able to do some significant things as well, landing dang near a former 5-star tight end.
Yeah.
They're still pretty active out there. What are your expectations for the football team on next year? Is it still just kind of just want to get through it? There's no really high expectations, just hope to see some change and something different from what you saw in last year, or being from now at a distance. What are some of the things that you hope to see for the Huskers as they're continuing this recruiting, just knocking it out? I think I really like what they're doing, to be honest.
Well, first and foremost, appreciate you guys having me on. I miss both you guys, everyone else at 93.7 The Ticket. It's always great to be back on the airwaves, even if it is at a remote capacity once a week. But hope to jump on every Friday if it's able to for you guys. But I think it's so fascinating because when we first looked at this recruiting class and you could kind of get the grasp of Husker Nation, the frustration was, okay, we're headed towards this transfer portal era. This is what everyone's going to be focused on. And Matt Rule is maybe a step or two behind. I mean, he was getting his first signing day, early signing period, which is basically signing period now, blew everyone's expectations through the roof. I mean, it was awesome. But now you see these transfers starting to trickle in. 2 former 5-stars from Georgia who's coming off back-to-back national championships. Listen, I don't care if these guys didn't find the field. There's probably a reason for that because there's another 5-star that's about to be playing on Sundays next year. So great to see on that. Jay, this before I leave. There's absolutely no reason Nebraska shouldn't be shooting for a bowl game. I don't care if it's the first year. I don't care if it's a rebuild. Look at the players that you have on the team. Look at the Big Ten West, which is going to be around for another season. It has to be looking for a bowl game. You have to have that 6-win expectation. And I tell you what, Strick, I was saying last night to some of my buddies, I'm already drinking the Kool-Aid. I told myself I wasn't going to do it. I'm already drinking the Kool-Aid. 6 wins is the minimum. I think it should be even higher. I would be looking at 8 or 9, but that's a different discussion for another day.
Well, that's good stuff, man. Thanks once again. We hope to see you, not see you, but hear from you on next week. And man, we're so happy for you continuously and the wonderful work that you did for us here on the block, as well as for the 93.7 Ticket family. But we also wish you well down there in Kansas City. We know that you'll do a wonderful job, and we look forward to seeing more of you in the future.
Appreciate you guys. I'll talk to you next week.
All right, Nate Doggy Dog, our guy. Once here on the block, Austin has taken his spot and filled in for the new year 2023. More things in store on the block. 93.7 The Ticket at ticketfm.com. We have to take a break right now. We'll come back for the second hour. Oh, no. Shootout with Strick. Strick has got a victory on his. So we hope that you would call in, get on the phone lines, call in, chime in to see if we can battle it out on Shootout with Strick right after these messages. We'll be right back.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, wanting to say Happy New Year and thank you to all of you for continuing to have another outstanding. We want to 2023 the bang. The new GMC and Chevrolet inventory continues to roll in, and I'll actually be picking up my 2023 GMC later this month. So with interest rates continuing to climb, Coppell is partnering with General Motors and now offering 2.9% APR on select models. So we invite you to the dealership. Check us out online at coppellcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
This is Megan Whitaker from the Nebraska golf team. If you've put your clubs away for the winter, it's time to get them back out. There's no need to stop Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle is home to Lincoln's best indoor golf simulators. It's perfect for every level of golfer, with everything from casual games for the kids to hyper-realistic simulations of some of the best courses in the world. And the best part, no matter what the weather's doing outside, it's always golf weather inside. See for yourself. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Start planning for the 2023 deer season at the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo. Join us Friday, January 20th through Sunday, January 22nd at the Lancaster Event Center in Lincoln. There are informative hunting seminars, a blind giveaway, hunting and outdoor exhibitors, a big buck and monster shed contest, 3D shoot, and a whole lot more. Veteran owned and operated. Get your tickets at NebraskaDeerAndGameExpo.com. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 20th through 22nd at the Lancaster Event Center in Lincoln, presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate.
The Lincoln Stars look to add to their dominance on home ice as they face the Sioux City Musketeers on Friday, January 20th at the Icebox. It's the first time that the defending Clark Cup champions are in Lincoln this season, and you won't want to miss the action. The puck drops at 7:05 p.m., and you can purchase your tickets now online at lincolnstars.com or by calling 402-474-7827.
Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Tractor Supply has a new progressive pay model where team members receive 5 wage increases in the first 2 years of employment with the ability to earn up to $24 per hour. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day work week schedule with additional both shift schedules available. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The fog this morning. By this afternoon, a mix of sun and clouds with an afternoon high of around 33. West-northwest winds at around 10. We can see more areas of fog developing late tonight with a low down to around 22. A high of 33 tomorrow with a chance of light snow moving in by later in the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Tim Ryan for 93.7 The Ticket and theticket.com.
Hi, I'm Charlie Stone, back Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, you said to me earlier you have a lot going on at the dealership. Can you tell our listeners about it?
Sure can, Charlie. As I've said before, if you don't see a vehicle on our lot that you're looking for, it's probably on its way soon.
So, how many new Hondas do you have in stock or on the way?
We have a total of over 325, Charlie, with a great selection of pilots and Ridgelines in stock right now.
Well, we have been talking about the Honda of Lincoln way of buying cars for several months. How is that going?
People love it. We're buying all makes and models, whether they purchase the car from us or not. I mean, really, it's a no hassle, and we will pay them cash on the same day.
Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Hopcat exists at the intersection of great beer and delicious food, complemented by music, art, community, and comfort. Home to a best-in-class beer experience served by craft beer experts, guests can expect a casual, inviting local gathering place with some of the best damn burgers and fries you'll find in Lincoln. Hopcat is your pregame headquarters for basketball and volleyball all season long. Hopcat is located at 6th and P in the Haymarket. To plan your next trip to Hopcat, visit www.hopcat.com.
The Ticket Water Cooler.
Walter Rouse committing to Oklahoma just days after committing to Nebraska. This was one that particularly hurts me because I completely bought in. I was like, this is the best transfer portal edition.
Yeah, that one stung a lot more than really any other because
there are no losses, just lessons. And as a Husker football, we're just going to learn from this one. Maybe not to get too excited from the transfer portal. Another news, great news out of the transfer portal. MJ Sherman has arrived to Nebraska.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Nate on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. We are back here on the block. He's Husker Hall of Famer, 9-year NBA veteran Eric Strickland. I'm Austin Norman. Time now to play Shootout with Strick. NFL Divisional Round History. You want to play for your chance to win $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. You can call the number 402-464-5685. That is the Honda of Lincoln hotline, 402-464-5685. Your crack at not the champ, but the defending winner from yesterday. You're back on the board, Strick. You got to win yesterday.
Yeah.
In Big Ten men's basketball history, a lot of categories we went through there. Today, it's all about the playoffs and NFL playoffs. We'll dive into that more coming up in hour 2 of the show. Fantastic weekend of football ahead. 4 games. There's not a bad one in the bunch.
No, not at all. Yeah, all of them are going to be good. They're going to be intense. Look, super wild card weekend was phenomenal, and it was good for me. It was interesting. There were some good stories. I think that's the thing that's missing in some of other sports right now. Baseball doesn't have it. Basketball's trying to create it. They've kind of aged out. Some of their younger groups, they're like for example, back in the day, they had for basketball, you had stories of matchups, Pistons, Bulls, Lakers, Celtics. You know what I mean? And then it became all of a sudden it became individual matchups, and so forth. And it was Jordan, Ewing, and
Magic and Bird.
Now it's Celtics, Spurs, so they don't have that. But you had stories. There's that Super Bowl. I mean, it was Purdy, Herbert. It was somebody was going to win.
Lawrence or Herbert, their first one.
You know what I mean? Lawrence or Herbert. Purdy coming up. There were stories, and that's what makes sports interesting. And I'm looking forward to the stories that are emerging for this weekend as well.
Absolutely. We do have a contestant on the line. No forfeit victory heading into the weekend. You got to earn it.
I need it.
Strick. I believe in you.
CJ, get off the phone. Hang up. Just it's okay. You can just hang up.
No, CJ, stay here. You with us?
Oh, he's gone.
Wait.
Yes.
CJ?
No, he's gone. Yes. It's a forfeit.
CJ.
Strick, number 2. No, number 3. No, we're playing.
Yeah, we're bringing Rico in.
No,
we're bringing Rico
negative.
in. We are
It
bringing
is a forfeit.
Rico in.
It is a forfeit. Stricky wins. Play the champions here. Let's get it.
Nope, I play for the people.
Let's get it.
I play for the people.
I ain't scared of you.
You should be.
should.
I want to know.
Let's go.
I want to know.
Let's go.
What
All
are
right.
you? Something and a lot. Was a couple wins and a couple losses?
I ain't scared of you, Rico.
All right, let's do it.
I'm Bellevue West's finest.
Woo! Fighting words. We'll see.
That's rude.
Here's the battle. All right, Strick, round one of the shootout comes.
He goes first.
You go first.
Challenge.
You always
First.
go
No,
first.
no.
You always go first.
Strick always goes first.
Unfreaking believable.
Age
Okay.
before beauty.
And you're definitely not beauty, but let's go. You're the
All
beast.
right. Round one of the shootout here in 3, 2, and 1. They've lost the most divisional round games in NFL history. Minnesota or Indianapolis?
Minnesota.
Yep, they averaged most points per game in the divisional round. Jacksonville or Las Vegas?
Las Vegas.
Nope. He's thrown for the most touchdowns in divisional round history. Brady or Rodgers?
Rodgers.
Nope, it's Brady. He has the most receiving touchdowns by a tight end in the divisional round. Rob Gronkowski, Travis Kelce.
Gronkowski.
Yep, this franchise has won the most divisional round games in NFL history.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
New England.
Close but no cigar. San Francisco.
Oh!
That's not even
San
close.
Francisco.
That's a completely different coast.
In terms of number of wins.
No, that's a completely different coast.
All right, so
Sucker.
2 points, Rico.
Okay.
2 points.
I play for the people.
Your 1-0 record is on the line.
I play for the people.
Are you sure you're still willing to put this on the line?
Let's get it.
Okay. Round 2 of the shootout begins in 3, 2, and 1. He threw for the most yards in a single divisional round game. Bernie Kosar or Ben Roethlisberger?
Ben Roethlisberger.
Nope. They allowed the fewest points per game in divisional round history. Washington or Las Vegas?
Washington.
Nope. He rushed for the most touchdowns in divisional round history. John Riggins or Franco Harris?
Franco Harris.
Yep. He intercepted the most career passes in the divisional round. Ronnie Lott, Ed Reed?
Ed Reed.
Nope. This franchise is the only active franchise to not win a divisional round game.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Detroit Lions.
1.
No!
Oh! Stricky!
Strick!
Dang it.
2 in a row! Bellevue
Go
West
get it,
finest indeed.
Dang it.
Go get it. You tell Rico what it is.
Who was it?
The Houston Texans
Oh, of course it
are
was.
0-4 all time
Yeah.
in the divisional round.
Go sit down
I was-
somewhere.
I was
told you I
trying-
ain't scared of you.
The
You a
three,
sucker.
The
Get out of
three
here.
teams, the 3 new teams. You got Carolina, Jacksonville, Houston.
Boo.
Mhm.
I don't want no excuse. There's no need to dig
I was
into
like, Carolina made
No.
a Super Bowl. Jacksonville made the AFC Championship,
Mhm.
and then I just
Yeah.
spaced on Houston. So I was like,
yeah,
Detroit sucks.
Yeah.
Detroit
Yeah.
does suck,
Bye.
but
Get out of here.
they've made it before.
Stricky.
Rico,
Wait, with the champions here. Play that.
that's only 2 in a row.
Well,
Yeah.
It's only
Come
2
on.
in a
I'm
row.
the
You don't get
champ.
until 3.
I'm the champ of 93
Now
7
I'm-
to 10.
now I'm
We're
1-1.
calling you Bellevue West finest.
I'm 1-1. I'm 500.
Rico,
I
thanks
think
for
that's
playing.
still. I think that's still better than him.
I think
Are you
so,
over
Rico.
500?
Yes, I am, Rico.
Whatever.
I haven't been here long enough to know.
Whatever.
So. Rico, thanks for playing. He does not get the chicken. You still have your chance. Caller number 3 at 402-464-5685 is the one to get the chicken. I'm glad to see some post-game respect here across the park.
It's a lot of love. Me and Rico Bellevue West for whatever. We down like 4 flat tires. We're going to forever be tied and linked. Flock squad. Let's go.
Amen. That'll put a wrap on hour 1 here of On the Block. When we return for hour number 2, we'll get more into the divisional round matchups. Like we said, 4 really good games. We'll get into it with Strick's picks. A big deal with the Lions. We'll touch on that, and we'll see where else the conversation leads us. Don't go anywhere here as you're listening to On the Block. This is 93.7 The Ticket. Back in a sec.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. So live at ticket.com. KNTK FM Firth. 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial property. They are taking like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or Learn more at high-electric.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Patchy areas of fog this morning. By this afternoon, a mix of sun and clouds with afternoon high around 33. West winds at around 10. We get areas of fog developing late tonight with low down to around 22. A high of 33 tomorrow with a chance of light snow moving in by later in the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Start planning for the 2023 deer season at the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo. Join us Friday, January 20th through Sunday in the Lancaster Event Center in Lincoln. There are some hunting and outdoor exhibitors, a big buck and monster shed contest, 3D shoot, and a whole lot more. Veteran owned and operated. Get your tickets at NebraskaDeerAndGameExpo.com. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 20th through 22nd at the Lancaster Event Center in Lincoln. Presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is under new management, but has the same great service as before. If your door seems outdated or isn't working properly, call their new number at 402-480-2840 to schedule service or get a new door ordered. Steve's can repair most types of garage doors and can always point you in the right direction to get the job done. Give Steve's Garage Doors and Services a call today at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840.
The Lincoln Stars look to add to their dominance on home ice as they face the Sioux City Musketeers on Friday, January 20th at the Icebox. It's the first time that the defending Clark Cup champions are in Lincoln this season, and you won't want to miss the action. The puck drops at 7:05 p.m., and you can purchase your tickets now online at lincolnstars.com or by calling 402-474-7827.
Meeting your goal of having a healthy diet has never been easier than with the Venue at Home Healthy Living subscription. Chef-inspired meals that are health conscious and delivered right to your door every week. All you have to do is heat and eat. We offer delicious entrees, gluten-free pastas, fresh rice bowls, soups, salads, and more. Build your own package as a subscription to receive meals every week, designed to help you meet your dietary goals. Order your custom healthy meal package today at venueathome.net.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Tractor Supply has a new progressive pay model where team members receive 5 wage increases in the first 2 years of employment with the ability to earn up to $24 per hour. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day work week schedule with additional overtime days with both day and night shift schedules available. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for 3! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Coming at you live online at ticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Hold up.
Welcome in, hour 2 of On the Block on a Friday. I'm Austin. He's Strick. Glad you're along for the ride here on a Friday as we head into the NFL divisional round. If you're going to be watching the games this weekend, there's only one place you can go for your food. That's Mary Ellen's, 27th and Pine Lake.
It is so luscious. It's so delicious. Go out there and tell Charles that Austin and Stricky sent you, because I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed if you make your way out to 27th and Pine Lake to Mary Ellen's. Food for the soul. Go get it.
Bring it back for other people too. Don't keep it to yourself. Obviously, go enjoy
Yeah,
it
Austin,
yourself.
don't be stingy when you go to Mary Ellen's. Bring something back to the studio and let me eat something.
And if you're catering, you want to party, get Mary Ellen's. There's no other choice this weekend.
Man,
Plain and
that's
simple.
right.
There's
Garbage, real quick on the text line. Garbage says, don't worry, Rico. We still claim you as one of us. Yeah, that's good love, Garbage Man. We appreciate it. Rico appreciates that. He can't hear me right now, but I'm sure he will get that information. I hated the idea of NBA play-ins, but now it has kind of grown on me. Sanderson said off the text line, we're going to talk a little bit about some NBA stuff, and we're going to dig into that. So, Sanderson, you got a little bit ahead of the curve, but we're going to tap in with you.
That's sake too. Pump the brakes. We'll get to it, but that'll definitely lead us somewhere. We're going to go to Strick's picks right now.
Let's get it.
4 games. Very important.
Is it 4 games? It is
4 games. Yep.
Divisional round.
2 semifinals.
Who's going to go to the championship game?
That's what we're asking you. And let's start with this one that we were talking about over break. You get the Jacksonville Jaguars and you get the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. That game is a Saturday game, Saturday afternoon on NBC. A little weird having a Saturday game on NBC, but that's besides the point. These two teams have matched up already this year. The Chiefs did win that game at Arrowhead Stadium.
They did.
Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback on planet Earth. Trevor Lawrence, best quarterback over the last 8 weeks. Another fantastic matchup of quarterbacks. You had Herbert and Lawrence last week. You have Mahomes and Lawrence this week. What's the biggest story for you in this game?
Well, let's just cut to the chase. Coming into this season, I thought, and I need to give a hand clap to the Arrowheads down there in Kansas City, because I said this, Austin. I said Kansas City Chiefs will struggle without Tyreek Hill. And I said, watch Travis Kelce. Keep your eyes on him, because his season may end up suffering because of the fact that Tyreek Hill is gone, because of how much space Tyreek Hill opens up, because of what you had to do with safeties and over the top and over-unders, different types of coverage to keep him from blasting the doors off of you. And, you know, what they used to try to do is they try to get blitz packages. They would try to get, a lot of people in Mahomes' face, and then he would be creative and drop-offs and dump-offs and things like that. But listen, Travis Kelce ends up with 110 receptions with 1,300 as a tight end.
Tight end. Yeah.
1,338 yards with 12 TDs. Y'all did the doggone thing. So my thing is, when I look at this game, there's something else I have to take into account. Patrick Mahomes is leading the charge. Like you said, Lawrence has been the best over the last 8 weeks. Just unstoppable. The style that he's been playing, the confidence he's been playing with. But then I look at it from this standpoint. Divisional dominance. Patrick Mahomes has never lost in 4 starts in the divisional round. He is undefeated. This Jaguars team are ahead of schedule. They're doing things that are unexpected. They have great chemistry, great running back out of ETN, great quarterback. Christian Kirk has surprised everybody with that pickup.
The way he lived up to the bag that he shocked me.
It shocked me. I was like, that's going to come back to bite them. That's what I was thinking. So clap to him. Because of that, Mahomes magic, I just don't think that the Jaguars will be able to come in and get it done.
As we look at the Chiefs too, Tyreek Hill, obviously a game changer. We know what he is, what he can do. We also know the cap hit. And what the Chiefs did, I think, was avoid a trap that a lot of teams would have fallen into. It worked out the best for everyone because Tyreek Hill is still breaking games out of Miami. He elevated Tua Tagovailoa's game to a new level.
Got him paid.
Win for Tyreek Hill. Win for the Dolphins. Win for the Chiefs too, though.
And he's in South Beach.
Whew. Lucky man.
Tyreek Hill. A cheetah in South Beach. Can you believe it?
Woo. Cheetah with some Cougars, right?
Cheetah with some Cougars down in South Beach. Let's go.
I don't know if that's what he's about, but that's all sorts of a wildlife down there in the jungle that is South Beach. But the Chiefs offense didn't really miss a beat. I don't think it has that elite level that did with Tyreek Hill because he's one of one. But what you were able to do was get two guys for the price of one Tyreek Hill. You get Juju Smith-Schuster to take some pressure off Travis Kelce.
That was a surprise. I didn't think he would be up to form. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, 78 catches. The closest guy to 1,000 yards, not named Kelce, with 933. He's been reliable. Which is good. You get Marcus Valdez-Scantling to stretch the defense.
He'll blow you up. Yeah, he'll stretch you.
Not to the same level as Tyreek Hill, but he can still do it.
Yes.
He's just another option there. And then you couple those two guys with Travis Kelce being maybe the best tight end by the numbers in NFL history. By the numbers.
I'm surprised that they don't use Kittle as much. But good gosh, look at what you got. So I understand. But I think Kittle's on the level.
He sure can be.
I think he's on the level.
We'll get to that game in a little bit too. So even though offense across the league was down, the Chiefs offense I don't think is the best Chiefs offense we've ever seen.
Yeah.
But Patrick Mahomes has been the best we've seen it. I mean, he took the league by storm his first couple years. Last year, the league adjusted to him. This year, he adjusted back. The Chiefs' offense looks so different than it has with no Tyreek Hill. And yet, they're still just as efficient as ever.
Who do you attribute that to? Do you attribute it to Mahomes or do you attribute it to Eric Bieniemy and Coach Reed?
Some of both. I think that
using it a little bit different. You had to make some adjustments. Mahomes is doing what Mahomes do, but I have to also give some credence to them because of the fact that they knew they had to make some adjustments. And you got to give some claps to the front office guys and figuring out who those type of guys can come fill in.
Absolutely. So it's absolutely on the coaches for scheming things up differently, for giving him more of those easy passes underneath and getting the catch and run guys. But Mahomes could have resisted it, right? He's a superstar. What got him to the league? What made him burst on the scenes to MVP? Was that deep ball, that connection with Tyreek Hill. He could have pushed a back against front office. Say, no, you keep Tyreek. That's the only way to keep me happy. He didn't do that.
Yeah.
He was willing to take that step back, adjust his game, make a lot more of the simpler throws while still having that deep ball, the gotta have it throw still in his bag, but not needing it as much. So the fact that he's worked so well together with Reed, with Bieniemy, that's a credit to that organization as a whole in the structure.
Yeah, I have to agree with you with that, man. I'm looking forward to these games. I just really am. I'm going to be sitting in front of the TV, just excited about
with your plate of Mary Ellen's,
with my plate of Mary Ellen's and some barbecue ribs and some mac and cheese, some collard greens, Okay. We're back.
So Kansas City favored by 9.
Blow that out. Yes, but that's huge. That's a huge number.
It is.
Oh,
which way you leaning?
I'm going to say Jacksonville covers.
Okay.
I'm going to say Jacksonville covers. And
I
still think Chiefs win,
okay.
but I'm going to say Jacksonville covers.
Okay.
I think they might win by 7.
I'd buy that. Possession game. Sure. The other game on Saturday, an NFC East matchup, you've got the New York Football Giants. I call the Vikings fraudulent. I said the F word.
You did.
I was correct.
You were right.
I'll take credit for it.
And it's because Cousins does not show in the big game.
Cousins wasn't his best. He wasn't bad. That defense got shredded, though.
They did.
That defense got
put
shredded.
It all on Cousins.
No, Danny Dimes.
I want to put it on Cousins.
I know you do. I know you do. And normally I wouldn't stop you, but I want to be fair to the
You're
guy
going
for
to get
today.
behind him in the defense. Yeah, you're going to be.
For
You're going
today.
to
But they go up against the Eagles, who will have Jalen Hurts back. And that, to me, is the question. What does Jalen Hurts look like? If the Eagles can control the game early, Strick, I think that goes a long way in giving Jalen Hurts not another off week, but if he can ride that ground game and some low-stress throws to work his way back to full health for the NFC Championship, that's huge. If the Giants are able to, come out swinging, the Eagles can't stop the run like they've proven all year. If Saquon has a big game, Danny Dimes gets loose, and the Eagles have to play from behind, that plays into the Giants' hands.
I think that would be something that the Giants would hope to be able to get out in front of. One that helps you with Saquon Barkley, the run game, his versatility. He's one that they're going to have to really just kind of key on, get stops on. But then their wide receiver core showed up for them and made big plays in their last game. I think when you have such consistency, you have timing issues, not issues with Philly, but you have those types of things. And this off time, did you lose that?
Sure.
So that's the part that I'm really going to be watching for. Is there favoring of the injury? Is there, are you able to make? I mean, now the Giants have to account for a different style of play, obviously, because now you've got to still look out for the legs. How much does he want to run? In the situation that he has now, those are the things that you got to consider. But listen, they still got Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, and Miles Sanders. That's a trio. That's a good trio to have if you're going to be going into a tough playoff matchup, and you're at home. But again, it's I think turnovers. Who takes care of the field position game? Whose special team handles that best? So I think if they manage turnovers and they manage the field position game, I think this could be an Eagles game just because of the trio that they have in AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Miles Sanders.
On offense, it's the stars for the Eagles. I know they have Darius Slay on the defensive side, and I've at least heard of CJ Gardner-Johnson and Hassan Reddick. But guys like Fletcher Cox have been around for a while. Brandon Graham has been around for a while.
Vet guys.
They're big guys that have been around the block. But when I look at the Eagles defense,
they've been around the block or on the block?
We're talking about them on the block. Yeah, good catch. It's a unit that's better than the sum of its parts.
Yeah.
That I don't see a single superstar on that defense, but it's been a solid unit all year long. And I think that the experience from those guys is going to have to carry them through because New York's offense can be explosive.
Yeah, and there's familiarity with this crew. I mean, these guys are just natural rivals. The intensity, the beltway of just going up the highway just about a couple hours. There's going to be some intensity in this game. I think Philly has to feel good about this game being at home. Let's be real about it. Dable's done a wonderful job with this Giants crew. I mean, to me, they're undermatched, but he's gotten the best and the most out of what this team is. And so I can't say that it's going to be a blowout or a blow away. But I can just say that I'm looking forward to watching it, and I'm just going to be watching how Philly, what type of start they get off. If they're not able to move the chains, again, it's going to come down to field position. And I think the New York Giants, they do well if they can give themselves shorter fields and then use Saquon Barkley and that crew to be able to just chip away and just get points, whether it be from field goals or also breaking it open with touchdowns.
Kelsey on the text line says he called the Vikings butt all year long, and so did a lot of people. You're not Nostradamus. I get it. I'm wrong a lot. Let me pat myself on the back when I get one right. All right, pump the brakes. Come on, lay off. I'm not right a lot. I can't have one small victory, not even one.
Hey, Kelsey, Mississippi Mud will sling some mud at you.
I see that now.
He's one that will. We love him, though. We love him on the block because it's always interesting to tap in with him. So just know that from the start.
All right. Eagles 7.5-point favorites. They cover, the Giants cover.
Oh, gosh. I think this is going to be a tight one.
Okay.
But I'm going to go out on a limb. On this one and say, I can't do it.
You want to do it. I can see you want
7.5 though. I think Philly. I think I can't. I think New York covers.
Okay.
7.5 kills me. I don't like it. That's an ugly number. I play craps. I don't want to crap out.
See, to me, I think the bold call to going out on the limb would say the Eagles cover because it is a divisional matchup and because Jalen Hurts has been banged up. They haven't played.
Exactly.
The Giants are coming in off a playoff win.
Yes, that's why I can't pull the trigger on that. 7.5 is an ugly number for me. I don't like craps.
Understandable. Let's get to you want AFC or NFC game next?
AFC.
Okay. In my opinion, game of the weekend. A lot of people's opinion, game of the weekend. Bengals, Bills. We all know what happened the last time this game was played. That was when DeMar Hamlin collapsed on the field. Seems like he's making great progress, which is good. This is going to be an absolute scene up in Orchard Park. What are your biggest keys to this game?
the biggest keys for me is what type of pressure that they're going to be able to get on Joe Burrow. The line has struggled immensely. He's, is it going to be able to hold up, to be able to get the ball to those stars, Jamar Chase and what's my other
T. Higgins?
T. Higgins. Is he going to have time? I love Mixon. I just don't think they're going to be able to just open. Now, I might be wrong. I could be wrong, but I don't think that they're going to be able to work with Mixon. But I don't think that Mixon's going to just blow the doors out. I just really think this Buffalo front line and defense is solid. And I think they're going to get after the quarterback in this one. That's where it's going to be for me.
I'm glad you said solid, because that to me is what the Buffalo offense has to be. We know what Josh Allen is. We know what Stephon Diggs is.
He's been making a lot of mistakes lately.
That's where I'm going with
and interceptions. Go ahead.
Yep. So often it's not necessarily the better team that wins. It's the more solid team that avoids mistakes.
Yeah.
More so than anything. Josh Allen didn't lead the league in interceptions, but when you combine his interceptions and fumbles, led the league in turnovers.
Yeah.
We got sacked 3 times, turned the ball over, 3 or 4 times against the Dolphins. Almost cost him.
Yeah.
Either last week was a wake-up call for him and he's going to take better care of the ball because of it, or he's just in a funk where he's giving it away right now. Joe Burrow started slow, but the Bengals have been on fire the second half of the season.
Facts.
And he's taken care of the ball for the most part. I know they struggled against Baltimore to some degree last week. I just trust Cincinnati a little bit more right now. They're hotter and they're not giving the ball up.
Even with Jonah Williams out with a left with a kneecap, dislocated kneecap. You've got 3 backup linemen that are trying to protect Joe Burrow, especially on his backside. You sure you feel confident about it even still?
They beat Tennessee, giving up 9 sacks last year.
Okay.
And here's the thing. This Buffalo team is so much better
He
than that
sacked 4
Tennessee
times
team.
last week alone. As long as he can hold on to the ball, okay. I'm not mad at him.
As long as they're 1 or 2 yard, maybe 5 yard sacks and not 7, 8, 9 yard sacks, because you can make up for 5 yards in one throw. You can. But the line, Strick, is 5.5 points in favor of the Bills. How do you see it?
I'm going with
Taking the Bills?
Yeah.
Okay. Final game of the weekend out west in Santa Clara, Dallas at San Francisco.
You know who I'm rolling?
Who are you rolling?
San Francisco.
-4.
I'm going with I'm going
Okay.
with Purdy. I don't care. I'm going with Purdy. I'm riding the Purdy train. I'm riding the greatest thievery and steal on earth by them getting McCaffrey. They robbed the freaking Carolina Panthers. And so McCaffrey is, I love what they do with him and Debo. Just how
so
they
neat.
Look, I love their creative offense. And just in that alone, I'm going with the story.
Okay.
Don't look at it from a standpoint of any type of homer action or anything. I'm going with the story. I want that story to be a story to just put a stamp on the NFL season, that Brock Purdy was able to take this team like Jimmy G and just create a what is it called, a documentary on it, like
NFL Films Classic.
NFL Films Classic. I'm just going with the classic, so I'm just going with my heart and emotions on this one.
Brad says we them boys and Micah Parsons don't care.
I listen.
You don't care? Micah Parsons don't care?
Micah Parsons is a beast.
He is.
He's a freak of nature, and what he did last week, hand clap. Look, I'm with you. I just want the story. I'm not saying. Look, I've always told you the freaking Cowboys, achy breaky heart, breaking my heart. But everybody wants to play Wiz Khalifa. We them boys. My girlfriend is from Dallas also. So she's a Cowboys fans, you know what I mean? One of them.
One of those, yeah. My dad's a Cowboys fan as well, so I think he's riding with them. Does it give you any pause that Dallas played better last week? Any hesitation at all that Dallas at their best can keep up with San Fran, or the Niners just that good?
I think the Niners are just that good.
Okay.
I think defensively, I think the creativity of their offense, they're going to find a way to exploit Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're gonna find a way to exploit. He's that good though. Like you just don't think that you can run down line. You don't think you can not block him, not chip him, not do things like. Watch yourself because he's that good. You know,
Check yourself before he wrecks yourself.
That part. His eyes go in the right place, and he's just that good defensively. You saw in the first play where he went down line. They tried to not block him, and he made the play on a zone read going right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, he's that guy.
He's different.
He's that guy.
So to sum up, final answers: Jaguars cover, Chiefs win. Giants cover, Eagles win. Bills cover and win, and Niners cover and win. Did I get that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's how I'm rolling.
And
I'm rolling with emotions. I'm rolling with emotions on San Francisco.
Everyone's always said the best way to bet is with your heart, not your head.
Yeah. That one's
very well known.
Definitely that.
So there you go. There's our Strick's picks for the NFL divisional round. When we return, something that's back in the news. It's been in the conversation a few times over the last couple of years, but as a former NBA player, I want to get Strick's thoughts on the NBA potentially adding a tournament in the middle of the season. What does that do for the rest of the schedule? How would you get players to compete in it? We will touch on that when we come back.
Start planning for the 2023 deer season at Nebraska Game Expo. Join us Friday, January 20th through Sunday, January 22nd at the Lancaster Event Center in Lincoln. There are hunting seminars, a blind giveaway, hunting and outdoor exhibitors, a big buck and monster shed contest, 3D shoot, and a whole lot more. Veteran owned and operated. Get your tickets at NebraskaDeerAndGameExpo.com. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 20th through 22nd at the Lancaster Event Center in Lincoln. Presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisure. But buying is opposite. Not go somewhere with options. Play It Again Sports has quality to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air. When it comes to your home or business, we know you have options, and that's why John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning gives you just that. Options. We have plumbing, heating, and cooling memberships to serve all of your residential and commercial needs. We want to ensure you, your family, and are safe. Visit our website, jhlincoln.com, to find out more or call us at 435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Tractor Supply has a new progressive pay model where team members receive 5 wage increases in the first 2 years of employment with the ability to earn up to $24 per hour. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day work week schedule with additional overtime days with both day and night shift schedules available. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, wine, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Hey guys, this is Lindsay Teal from Nebraska Golf Team. Imagine golfing the best courses in the world. San Andrews, Pebble Beach, the best of the best. You can play those courses and more without ever leaving the city of Lincoln at Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle has the city's best golf simulators, 5 high-quality bays that track ball speed, lawn golf speed, spin rate, and more to give you the most accurate gameplay. Check it out for yourself year-round. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. It's basketball season, and that means you're fighting cold weather and snow to get to the arena, waiting for lines at the game, and yelling too much at the ref during the game, so I don't go over the top. And they have a variety of options to calm you down before, during, and after any game. Whether you're looking for drinkable Delta 8 seltzers, hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups for your beverages, or anything else, Trek CBD has it all at 84th and Anderson. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
The Lincoln Stars look to add to their dominance on home ice as they face the Sioux City Musketeers on Friday, January 20th at the Icebox. It's the first time that the defending Clark Cup champions are in Lincoln this season, and you won't want to miss the action. The puck drops at 7:05 p.m., and you can purchase your tickets now online at lincolnstars.com or by calling 402-474-7827.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Patchy areas of fog this morning. By this afternoon, a mix of sun and clouds with an afternoon high of around 33. West-northwest winds at around 10. We can see more areas of fog developing late with low down to around 22. A high of 33 tomorrow with a chance of light snow moving in by later in the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hopcat exists at the intersection of great beer and delicious food, complemented by music, art, community, and comfort. Home to a best-in-class beer experience served by craft beer experts, guests can expect a casual, inviting local gathering place with some of the best damn burgers and fries you'll find in Lincoln. Hopcat is your pregame headquarters for basketball and volleyball all season long. Hopcat is located at 6th and P in the Haymarket. To plan your next trip to Hopcat, visit www.hopcat.com. A new year means new goals and upgrading, but that doesn't only apply to health and fitness. Mullen Motors can get you into a new vehicle right now and get your 2023 started off the right way. They cleared off their 2022 inventory and have tons of new vehicles to choose from to make sure you get to where you need to be this year. Out with the old and in with the new. Stop by Mullen Motors today, just north of 48th and Lake.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Halfway through hour 2 on the block. Happy Friday to you. Thanks for dialing us up here on 93.7 The Ticket or on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter at the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream. If you have any thoughts on the NFL playoffs, keep them rolling in on the Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. We turn our attention from the NFL to the NBA. Who better to ask about the NBA than the 9-year vet himself, Eric Strickland. Strick, this has been in the works for a while. It got brought up again recently over the last week. The idea of a mid-season tournament for the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
As a casual NBA observer, I think I like the idea of it. The execution part of it, though, is going to be key. How many games is it? How many teams are involved? And most importantly, why would the players be motivated to play it? When you hear about a play-in tournament, what are your thoughts as someone who watches the league and as someone who's been a part of the league for darn near a decade?
I understand the reason as to why they brought in a play-in tournament. Mm-hmm. It tried to make the ending of the season a little bit more interesting because what would end up happening. I've been on playoff teams as well as I've been on teams that were going to miss the playoffs. And I'm going to be honest with you. You get into that March time frame, end of February, March time frame, and you're not in the race. There's a part of your mentality, if you just don't have a heart for the game or a love for the game. I've seen teammates like literally shut it down. I mean, they start making plans to the Bahamas and where their next trip is going to be.
Cabo on 3, 1, 2,
you know
3.
what I'm saying? Yeah, that started happening. But the play-in gives you a chance to, if you can make a late run or if you're close and you give yourself a shot to get into it. So I understood that it kind of would keep players more engaged for longer. But again, we talked about this. We talked about the fact that there's lack of interest. There's lack of interest in multiple areas and parts of a professional system. Mm-hmm. There's lack of interest in Pro Bowls, lack of interest in all-star games for baseball and for basketball. Mm-hmm. The most interesting parts of those is the skill games. The most interesting part of the all-star game for baseball is the home run derby. Mm-hmm. It's the dunk contest. The dunk contest. So it's the side pieces that are the most interesting part. So you would find people going more on Saturday than they do on Sunday, and people were giving away tickets and just like, I don't want to watch that stuff because it was just people walking around and not really giving an effort, right?
Right.
So that's what they're trying to create.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're getting a lot of guys now starting to sit out. They're starting to complain about 82 games, which I think is ludicrous, to be honest, because that was never a problem.
Like, what did you sign up for?
Yeah, you're
that's part of the deal,
you're
right?
Getting, the way that you're getting paid, that part. So I look at it as similar to what they're doing with college football expansion for the playoffs, because now what you're finding is there's a lot of individuals that are beginning to forego bowl games in search of, and you understand why. There's an understanding for why. So I'm not knocking the fact that they're doing it, but this now will create more interest. It'll create more fan base engagement. It'll create all these different areas, because now guys still feel they have a chance. As long as you still feel you have a leg in the game, you'll stay engaged. And that's part of what they're doing. They're going to create, similar to what the TBT has done. They've created this thing where a lot of guys, and if you're not familiar with the TBT, those that are listening, it's $1 million game. Usually a lot of guys that didn't make it to the NBA, or they play overseas and they get back with their local colleges, or they'll combine with conferences and they'll play for $1 million.
It's an awesome thing.
It's an awesome little thing, right? But it's generous. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to figure out a way to generate mid-season interest, because things don't seem to get interesting in the regular season until you get to the All-Star break and it starts going downhill. So that's what they're trying to do.
You get those early eyeballs, for the first couple weeks.
Yeah.
Then it fades. It just feels like the middle of the season takes forever. You hit All-Star break, hit the trade deadline, you get those deals, then interest picks back up. As a player, what is that grind like, where you're going out every night to play, but some games feel more meaningful than the others? If there was this mid-season tournament, what would be your incentive to play and compete? What would the league have to offer you to make it more than just another regular season game?
I like money.
Okay. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? There's no accolades. There's nothing that you can give me in that, that make it worth it. In the earlier stages of the season, you're getting paid. Now, you're supposed to do the job anyway. I would still do it because I love the game.
But you're a competitor.
Yeah, I'm just a competitor. But if you're trying to drum that up, make it worth something. That's what I said about the NFL. Like, if you're going to have these all-star games, make it worth something. Make it worth something, to where you're going to get out there. But now just everybody's so mindful and cognizant of injuries, and I'm not mad at them. I understand it. So they've got to figure out another way. I'm going to be interested to see what the NFL does with this flag football thing. I think that's pretty cool. That's fun. People like it. That's a national thing. I think they play some national stuff down in Orlando for, some youth and maybe some older, guys that just still want to be involved with football. They'll do that. So I like it. I like the idea of it, but you got to make it worth something.
Worth something to the players, because if you look at things like the home run derby and the slam dunk competition, obviously they're for fans. They're a sideshow for fans. But if you're the guy holding up that trophy at the end, it means something to you.
Yeah.
You put your body on the line to compete for this. You were creative. You went through the process. You got it done. To me, the best way to engage fans is to make sure the players are engaged and have some reason to play. Because if the players look like they don't care, the players are just there as part of the job, it's going to be harder for fans to care if players don't care. So for me, instead of trying to tailor everything to what do fans want to see, fans this, fans that, I feel like the NBA has to take that leap of faith in its players, talk to them, say, hey, what do you want to do to get them engaged, to get them to care? Because if the players put forth that effort, I can only imagine how much more that would show through the screens to the fans.
Absolutely, Austin. And I look at it from this standpoint too, that if you're looking to let me just say this. I remember when I was playing, we had two-a-days like for almost a week. And you talk about strain, stress, and your mind just like they barely have maybe any two-a-days now, maybe one. They're playing exhibition games after 3 practices. It's crazy. Like, I would love to be playing now, to be honest, right?
Yeah.
But I really look at it and I'm trying to figure out how they can make it interesting for the players. Like, I know they're talking about taking out some games out of the 82 game schedule and throwing that in there, but that still is not something that makes it beneficial to the player, right?
Right, because some teams, the further you go in the tournament, are going to play more.
Exactly.
Right? This isn't AAU or middle school ball.
Right.
Where you got to, some teams are going to win, some teams are going to lose. You get eliminated from a tournament, that's got to be it for you at the pro level. But if you make sure everyone plays the exact same number of games, it's just, hey, here's more regular season.
Exactly. So that's why that's what's kind of, I don't think they're really thinking it through, man. I don't think they're really, they have a think tank put together. And I think you're right. You need to really go into the Players Association, sit down with these guys, have a discussion, let them go back to their teams, talk about it. What can keep you, wanting to go out and do this? Because to them, it's going to look like the bubble, or it's going to look like some gimmick, and they're going to be like, oh, if we can do that, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because most guys, if they're not in the All-Star game, you know what they're doing?
Cabo.
Woosah. They're on a boat somewhere. You know what I mean? So used to be, we used to all go to the All-Star game. It's not like that no more,
Right. So say the NBA does get this tournament in. I, like you said, assume that would come with some concessions on the 82 game schedule. What do you think that reduces to? 72, 70? The lockout season to 66.
You've still got to be in the upper 70s. You can't.
I would think so.
You can't take that many games off, because
the owners
like you're saying,
want that, right?
Right, because let's be real. They've got to share CBA. And here's so I understand the gimmick of it also, right? They're trying to figure out a way to gain. I think they're trying to increase it by, I want to say, at least 20 billion. The TV,
with a B.
the TV, 20 billion. They're trying to figure out a way for TV revenues, because they've been down. They've been decimated. They are not good compared to what they're asking for or want to get.
Right.
They're not good. So they're trying to use this in a means prior to, I think they have 2 years left on their TV
23,
deals.
24 is when it runs out.
Right. So you have a few years left on your TV deal. They're trying to figure out a way to gimmick up or to create more buzz in a time frame where the ratings are at their worst. They tried to compete at Christmas. Again, they found out real quick that that's not a good idea.
Nope.
Leave the NFL alone. Don't play in their playground. The NFL basically said, we're going to come down here and we're going to squash you.
Thanks for trying. Go away.
Yeah. You are the weakest link. Good night. That's basically how they did them. So it let it be known that I think they're just trying to figure out a way to justify a $20 billion increase in TV revenue, which they're not going to get. I don't.
That'd be a huge jump.
I think Fox is already not Fox. TNT is already trying to figure out a way to, exit stage left. There's some talks already out there where, ESPN's going to be, maybe on edge about whether if you're trying to go 20 billion higher, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be tough. And then you've got you carrying the women also. Look, don't call into the thing and say the facts are the facts.
We know what the ratings are.
The facts are the facts. The WNBA, the game is being carried by the NBA. It is what it is. They're operating at a 10 to 15 million dollar budget deficit every year. This is not what I'm saying, but they're trying, the NBA, knowing that they have this, they're trying to figure out a way to do it. And I'm okay with it, but I'm just saying that's what it is.
It's the bed they made.
It's the bed that they've made, and they've got to figure out how to navigate that. Otherwise, it's getting cut into their their revenues.
Right. And if the NBA is going to, help televise the WNBA, again, they're right. Go for it. Cool. That again takes up some time slots from the NBA games.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. There's only a certain amount of time you have. Every slot that you fill with one thing leaves something else on the chopping block.
Yeah.
That's just how it works.
Yeah. Time's
finite. So let's run this past DP&J in the crossover.
Yeah, I love it. Love it.
We'll do that when we get back here on the block.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or 1501.
Lincoln Waverly around. Listen up. Select Plumbing. Top issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Why are some people more successful? Due talent and vision, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. To learn
Touching lives, securing futures.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
The Lincoln Stars look to add to their dominance on home ice as they face the Sioux City Musketeers on Friday, January 20th at the Icebox. It's the first time that the defending Clark Cup champions are in Lincoln season, and you won't want to miss the action. The puck drops at 7:05 p.m., and you can purchase your tickets now online at lincolnstars.com or by call 4727.
Mike Schaefer here for Trek CBD. It's basketball season, and that means you're fighting cold weather and snow to get to the arena, waiting for lines at the game, and yelling too much at the refs. Trek CBD has a variety of products to help calm me down during the game so I don't go over the top. And they have a variety of options to calm you down before, during, and after any game. Whether you're looking for drinkable Delta 8 seltzers, hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups for your beverages, or anything else, Trek CBD has it all at 84th and Andrew. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Tractor Supply has a new progressive pay model where team members receive 5 wage increases in the first 2 years of employment with the ability to earn up to $24 per hour. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day work week schedule with additional days with day and night shift schedules available. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
Hey guys, Nick Sadert here, and I want to tell you about my friends at Spine and Sports Chiropractic. I experienced a herniated disc in my lower back a few years ago, and thanks to the folks at Spine and Sports, I got back to feeling 100%. At Spine and Sports, they use the active release technique, which involves the soft tissue and can alleviate headaches, shoulder pain, plantar fasciitis, and more. What I like most about the ART method is that your doctor will construct a plan that fits your needs because the technique is not a cookie-cutter approach. Allow Spine and Sports Chiropractic to help you feel better. Set up your appointment today by giving them a call at 402-261-6841.
When it comes to your home or business, we know you have options, and that's why John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning gives you just that. Options. We have plumbing, heating, and cooling memberships to serve all of your residential and commercial needs to ensure you, family, and your business are safe. Visit our website, jhlincoln.com, to find out more or call us at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Hopcat exists at the intersection of great beer and delicious food, complemented by music, art, community, and comfort. Home to a best-in-class beer experience served by craft experts, guests can expect a casual, inviting local gathering place with some of the best damn burgers and fries you'll find in Lincoln. Hopcat is your pregame headquarters for basketball and volleyball all season long. Hopcat is located at 6th and 8th. Plan your next trip to Hopcat. Visit www.hopcat.com.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Nate on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wrapping up on the block here, I'm Austin Norman. He is Derek Strickland, joined in studio by the old school crew. We got DP, we got Jay. Gentlemen, welcome in. How are we doing today?
Salutations. What's happening?
Hall of Famers first.
No, you DP the king.
I'm getting out of the way. I'm telling y'all real talk. I'm just like I need more of y'all and less of me. So that's how we moving forward.
Yeah, man. I mean, Strick, I know you. I know the real reason why you hype, man.
What's up, man?
Them Bellevue T-Birds and
they getting it.
They did the thing.
They getting it.
They got that eye of the tiger, man.
I'm telling you, man. Woodard got him right, man.
I'm telling you, man.
I love Woodard with what he got him doing, man. I wish I could go see him. I really do. It's just kind of time wise.
Yeah.
I want to go see him. But we get down to state
watched him this year?
I have not.
They played.
You're gonna see him in the state tournament. He's gonna get him all the time.
Oh yeah.
Although I think, in fairness, I'm probably gonna have to pull Strick from the Thunderbirds game.
Yeah. Well, see the thing
because I can't have you standing on the table yelling at people.
See the thing about DP, you don't know about the
Bellevue DP
West.
knows me. That's what's crazy. He knows me.
The Bellevue Thunderbirds basketball fans, it just are outrageous because they could show up and they just think it's guaranteed they're gonna win.
It looked like this is what it looked like when Strick ran through the last turn we was at.
Right.
It was like Jesus parting the Purple Sea.
Oh, he come in there.
Like the Thunderbirds was just opening up.
Well,
like,
he cap.
Yeah. There's a lot of cap going on here.
Nah, because I peeped him out the first time.
Right.
And Strick said he was coming. So, I'm looking. I'm looking for Strick or whatever. So say the tip-off is at, just say 7 or 7:30. My man show up at 7:29.
Uh-huh.
And then everybody just, there go Eric Strick. Yeah.
Buzz, whisper.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you know
Jay
what, Strick?
Feezy. I can't even believe you doing it. I know you doing it.
In all seriousness, Strick.
I love it.
When you go back and watch when you will, I know you watched it before. I know when I go back and watch, my high school basketball and football team.
Yeah.
And kind of, you're the foundation set. Just talk about what that feels like because, people I always say they see the end product right now.
Yeah.
But they don't, obviously younger generations, they don't understand the work you had to put in
Austin
to put him on.
know who he's sitting with.
Oh, yeah, that too.
I know the name.
Right?
I
he
didn't
doesn't know
witness
who
it
he's
live.
sitting with.
Are you serious?
Like,
you don't know?
He don't know this.
I've heard the stories.
Yeah.
I can't say I witnessed it.
You want to hear a funny story about Strick?
Please.
Please. Now, this is serious, Strick. So when we came in, or when my class came in, we had a lot of basketball players that kind of, played AAU. You know what I mean? And so I played against Kenny Cheatham and, Marcus Nash that played at Tennessee and all those. You remember New York, Riverside.
Yeah.
And so we didn't play, I played against Kenny Cheatham in the so-called, national semifinals.
Yeah.
So I knew who he was. So you get to Nebraska, and even fast forward, when Nebraska first started recruiting me, that was when they had Rich King, Piakowski, and they were playing in Minneapolis and choked. And I remember my dad said, hey, let's go watch. Let's go. It was in Minneapolis. And we had bought like $10 tickets. We was way up in the Metrodome, boy. But I'm like, man, they got a basketball team in Nebraska, but they number 2 seed. So but then they lost, right?
Yeah.
So we get down here. And then, we hear about, was it Woolridge that went to Iowa?
Yeah.
Woolridge went to Iowa.
Dre.
Then you was here.
Yeah.
And then you heard about.
Well, Dre was here when
Dre.
you first came.
But then he left.
transferred.
Right. So that was the whole thing. And I was like, dang, they got some brothers in Nebraska that can play.
Yeah.
And then I remember Clinton Childs and those guys was like, hey, man, you got to check out this cat named Eric Strickland. Right?
Yeah.
And I remember you guys were playing Michigan State. Sean Resper.
Oh, Shesper came in.
Yeah. And then they had the
Eric Poplowski.
Yeah, the big old thing.
And then they had Eric Snow.
Right.
Who
Eric
had a long career with Allen
and
Iverson.
Sean Resper did too.
Yeah.
And Sean Resper was smooth. He had that like Adrian Dantley over the head jumper.
Eric Snow had the worst, had the harshest forearm short of
that's because
John
of his
Stockton.
that's because
short
of
of John
brother.
Stockton. Like those are 1A and 1B.
And Strick went to work on a Saturday morning, 11 o'clock tip off, and got up on him. I was like, oh, okay.
With baseline,
baseline on him.
I remember that.
I was like, okay. Then remember, because we used to always have to sit down there.
Down at the end on the corner, right?
So that was my first.
Old Devaney now.
Yeah.
Old Devaney.
And that was when you could get in with a student ID. Just imagine now trying to go to Pinnacle
PBA,
with a student ID.
Why not?
Why not?
I mean, I don't know. Do they got to pay?
Why not?
They got to pay now.
You got to buy season tickets, football, both basketball and volleyball, I believe.
Man.
Oh, wow.
So the students have to buy the tickets? on top of the tuition.
Yes, sir.
But let me say this.
This was student athletes got in.
Gangster.
Oh,
gangster.
Here,
Okay.
yeah, that's some
UNL,
gangster stuff.
Yeah.
Here's
Get your money.
Here's
What
what's
is-
crazy. Here's what's crazy, DP, Jay, and I know Jay can attest. This is why Nebraska is one of the greatest programs, and I can attest for it from the basketball side. You got to see it from the football side. That was amazing. When we used to come to games, DP, there used to be fans, student fans, sleeping outside the Devaney in tents and with to wait for tickets for our games.
But again,
It's crazy.
Let me be that dude. Why are students not doing that now?
Because they didn't have the product.
The tuition. Listen, if you made it easy for people to come see
Oh,
you,
I'm sure, yeah, but
like when you,
but it was-
all you got to do is get in line and have your
That was
ID.
it.
yeah.
That
Student
makes
athletes,
it,
I
And
know
it would be a rush. They would come. They would have video of them when they opened that door, and they would. Well, the football team was straight. They had a little section in the corner. Everybody was good, but they would go running into the gym for a seat.
And
That's how it was.
I think
It was
student
fun.
athletes can still get in, but see, like when we were coming to watch Strick, they had NBA players on our team.
Yeah.
But you got to think Jock Vaughn,
Yeah.
Rafe LaFrance, Vashawn Leonard, who I know Vashawn real
Big
well.
country.
Big country.
But there's
This
time. There's in the Big Ten Conference, there are NBA dudes up and down every roster of every opponent Nebraska face. Right. As a matter of fact, if you an opponent, this is a pretty cool place to come see because in recent history, you were not only getting a ticket, a good ticket, but you were probably going to win. Now, if you're trying to build it, open the gate. Like if you've made it too difficult, you give people a reason not to come see you. Give them a reason not to come. Look, they moved the media folks. Now we got to walk up the ramp and around the corner and through the jungle.
We up there in the nosebleed.
We can't even go through the lower door.
This is about you. This is about you guys. But I'm just saying,
haters.
I felt extremely blessed for me. Obviously, I'm a football or was a football
We
player.
felt the same way.
But to watch,
yeah,
guys. So we watched Jock Vaughn. He go first round, Strick go do his thing, and I mean it's just like an everyday thing. There was some ballers back then.
I agree.
Right,
And it was the same thing for football. We used to definitely go and support, but we had that under the stadium section, where they used to have them little bleachers, and we would get up under the stadium and go ham. And I got to see like Washington and Napoleon Kaufman and those guys come in here, and you got to see some great football.
I just don't understand.
I don't know what's the difference.
I don't understand a lot of the business that goes on.
Yeah,
and just real talk. Like I don't understand the
fun,
business.
man.
Let's go ahead and do that ID, and we can get back to it.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
It was a fun time to be on campus, DP. Like I really mean that. It was a fun time to be on campus when we were around.
The pitch is that with all the new toys, bells, whistles, fireworks that they're putting on campus over here,
I wish
you've got the best basketball facility, not only in Big Ten, but probably college
NBA
too.
level.
Right. NBA level Pinnacle Bank Arena. Right. In that space. Haymarket, again, top level. We understand you can make some changes to it, but it's easy to get to, easy to get out of, like simple. Football, it's the Mecca. Why are you making it difficult for the people who are fully vested?
Or who should be fully vested if they're not.
The easy thing, you sit in class with somebody, that's the reason, boys, y'all hung out. Well, why wouldn't you make it easy for these students to just be able to look, they're already paying you. You already got their cash. They can't get it back. Let them in games. Like, I don't understand. I know the boost of business is happening, but you need to take care. If you want Husker fans in the future, get them now while they're here. Get the captive audience.
You got
it's crazy.
It's a fine line because Bills need to get paid. I mean that's
you
honestly,
in surplus
and people, but still, just that's how you keep in a surplus. So you just can't give away. I mean, that'd be the whole campus in there if it was for free. That ain't gonna work.
It's already paid. You already got the money.
But they ain't sitting. You can't be having it.
That's your stipend money. That money is already in the bank, collecting interest.
After 1 year, you be done.
Okay.
They got to just do it. I'm sure they do a good job. But I just like the facilities and the time that we were there, to watch other guys that had the same mentality that when you walk into the training table, and if you got Gensu'd, if you got diced up, Strick, Mikey Moore, Bernard Gardner, and I'm gonna tell you who the worst was. That dang Hamilton.
Vince.
Vince, if it even looked like a inch that you got ran over or that you got Gensu, he used to always hit us with I call it the drive-by the drive-by knee. I call it, man, you shooting us at the knees. Oh, I seen you, Foreman. He looked like he got you. And before you could say anything, he already talking to Chevin Wiggins or something, and then he gone. Yeah.
Hey, he was a silent assassin, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Vince didn't talk much, but when he did, he had something to say.
They had a nice squad because you had Bernard Gardner, a big game. Yeah. He was giving Rafe LaFrance the business.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh, lefty Rafe. But yeah,
we were probably one of the scariest teams that probably nobody would have wanted to play.
You weren't really a Midwest. You weren't really a Midwest team.
No. We was.
Y'all weren't really.
We were physical.
Wait a minute. Y'all.
No, but see, they were.
Y'all didn't look Midwestern. That wasn't how that was going down.
Yeah, y'all were football tough.
Yeah,
that's one thing y'all were. It had good. You had Mikey Moore, who was, he would be really good for this type of NBA
Slim Reaper
run. Because back then they wanted their big guys big.
Right.
Like
bulky.
bulky and back. Back to the basket. Where Mikey right now, especially in like a Golden State where you picking and rolling and throwing in lobs, he would
fit.
Right. And then he eventually obviously played, in the NBA for a while.
Figured it out.
And then you had Vince, then you had Bernard, you had Strick, then you had Boone, then Catfish came in and then Cookie and all. I mean, y'all had some, and then you had Markowski and all them cats. Y'all was walking around.
It was a foundation. It was a foundation.
I can see why Danny Nee hooked y'all up, man. I used to be jealous.
The cleanest program in the history.
I used to look at Coach
sports.
McBride and say, "Man,
faults.
You got me out here taking all these ISOs, and these dudes just making layups, and these dudes living better than us." So,
no,
man, y'all ain't nothing.
Faults.
I should have went to Kansas State
because there was only 12 of them.
That's true.
The cleanest program. Those of you listening to this station right now, we had the cleanest program in the country.
That's your limitation. You all good.
Right.
You all good.
Tony Farmer.
Oh, that's probably what Tony had to leave. That might have been Tony.
Cali Cooley behind.
Listen, DP, if we would have had Tony. If we would have had Tony one more year, we would have been a problem.
One more year.
If he would have stayed, I wish he would have. But hey,
there goes state money.
What y'all got? No, you want to know a quick story about Tony?
Yeah.
Tony would have made the Late Show had he not gone in there and acted like he was the best thing smell, the sweetest smelling thing
smartest,
in the room,
best looking, best smelling, best dressed. Tony Farmer is Tony Farmer.
Yeah,
he was magic next to him. He was that way. He was that way. He was that way. Miners, he was that way. CBA, he's that. Tony Farmer is Tony Farmer. He light skinned.
Yeah, he's pretty.
He is extra light skinned.
But what y'all gonna be talking about on Gold School?
It's playoff weekend, so I need the Hall of Famer to break down these four big.
Sunday it is
on. Three of them, because one of them we already know what we're gonna say.
The Bills is gonna be.
We already know what we're
gonna
say.
They got two offensive linemen down. We're about to eat.
But we're gonna get into it. But I need to talk to him about a $13 million a year NIL deal that fell apart.
Talk too much.
$13 million a year. We gotta talk.
Lord. Conversations that is going on the Old School crew. We're on the block. We got to get out of here. Happy weekend to each and every one of you that are listening. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. We thank you once again for joining in. We're on the block. Austin and Strick will be back next week 2 to 4 right here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. We got to go. Peace.
Yeah, he talked the Clippers out of sign.
Hey guys.
Yeah, I mean,
even when he was in Utah, he literally talked the Clippers out of it. They wanted him. They needed him to fill for Keith Claus.
Southern Hill.